What if I told you that you can escape the matrix? Wait, I'm sorry, wrong video. Architecture on render, that's what we're talking about. So I saw this Reddit post about making this kind of effect and someone pointed out a video which was about ASCII animation effect. It looked cool. It was a nice tutorial on how to replicate the effect, but didn't explain that much about ASCII texture, so I was curious. So what is ASCII texture? ASCII texture or ASCII art is a kind of shading technique that recreates your render using text. ASCII actually stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange, which is basically a character encoding standard for text. It can be any kind of text. In fact, the famous green matrix art style is also a kind of ASCII art, though not a pure ASCII art because I'm sure they added some effects on it to make it nicer. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So how does it work? Basically, what you're doing is replacing individual pixels with the text, but in a more scaled up way. Okay, maybe that's an oversimplification. See, a digital image is made up of pixels, and pixel is the smallest point any image is made up of that tells about the color value of that particular point on the image. Its size changes with the pixel density of an image, but it is really small in general. But the great thing about pixels is they are quantized, which means when you get down to the level of pixels, you can see each pixel separately, like blocks. So if we somehow replace those pixels with ASCII text, we will get our ASCII art style, because that's what it is. But that won't work. Pixels are so small that even if you somehow could replace pixels with ASCII text, you probably won't notice the difference. Plus, ASCII text is also made up of pixels, so it is impossible to just replace pixels with ASCII text. But there's a way to solve it. What if we scale our image down, save it, and then scale that image up? The pixels would be bigger, big enough for you to see them clearly. That looks like an ugly low quality image, but combined with ASCII texture, it will look amazing. The next step is to replace those pixels with ASCII texture. You can manually do it one by one if you want to feel like an artist, but there's a faster way. Make a grid of ASCII texts with the same spacing as the spaces those individual pixels have. Convert your image into a black and white mask and only show the ASCII text in those bright points. But wait, there's more. If you take that mask and divide it into several different levels of brightness, you can set a different ASCII text to each of them, making a more detailed ASCII art. But now here's the problem. In After Effects, it is a bit easier to do it since there are videos about it. But I wanted to do it in Blender's compositing mode. I made this video for you to learn it in Blender, and I also made a small ready to use file for you if you don't want to go through the process of making it, which is probably in description. Anyway, now to Blender. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna show you the file that I already have made up, right? So that you can use the same file also, so that it is really easy for you to do it if you don't have enough time to learn all this. So all you have to do is take your image or render or video or whatever you have, right, and put it here and put it on image, and yeah, obviously I have to put the frames in, and here you go. You have this render, this ASCII, whatever art, right? So now the thing is that there are a few more settings that you can change. Like, first of all, if you want to change the color, you can change the color from here. right? Whatever color you want. Okay, and you can change the scale in case the video is cropping, the image or render or video is cropping. You can change it from here and it would work. You can zoom in and zoom out and it will work here. Okay, and this is the height of your render or image or video. Now here's the thing that I really wanted to do it, you know, inside the node so that you don't have to put anything here, but unfortunately Blender does not provide any way to do it. Maybe there is a way to do it, you know, with custom compositing by coding or something, but that's really a lot of effort. It's really easier to just, you know, pop in the values of your video here. So it is 720 pixel, and it's not like it would really make a very big difference. Like for example, if I do 1080, it doesn't make any difference. So yeah, anyway, so, and this is the last thing, number of pixels each ASCII symbol takes. It actually tells you that, you know, when you would put a 2D grid of the ASCII symbols that I was talking about, what would happen is that they would have they would have size, right? So for in my case, it is 18 pixel. Every symbol is taking 18 pixels, and this is kind of important to, you know, make sure that it is not cropping or something, right? If I do it like this, as you can see that it became pixelated, because what happened was, if I zoom out, it became way too small, and we really need it for just one block. So for that, 18 pixel is the size of the, you know, the size of this. So that's what I put here. So yeah, so this is the simple way that you can pop in everything, right? And these are the values that you would put before. Like you can change it with this. Sometimes this would work, this image processing would work. For my video, this worked. Sometimes this kind of image processing would work. And this is basically like treating your image or video before doing any kind of, like, you know, ASCII symbol setting on that, so that it looks better, changing the contrast and something, right? So yeah, basically that is how you do it, and you don't have to worry about any of all of that, right? The one thing maybe you can change, if you want to change, is change these ASCII symbols, but I have already put some here. But if you want to have some kind of like custom ones, you can change it here. But yeah, other than that, it's just pretty simple, plug and play, right? So I'll put a link in the description so that you can get this file and you can do this effortless by yourself as well. It is actually paid, but if you cannot afford it, don't worry about it. I actually have made a tutorial about how to do it, all of that from scratch, in the same file you can reproduce yourself. All right, so I think it will be a link in the right of the video right now. If it shows, I'm pretty sure I would have made it by the time I'm making this video. So yeah, check it out. I'll be back with more.